Hi you guys, long time no see. Lots of stuff has happened during those past, like 5 months now. We have May. I have not put any videos up because I will tell you the whole story in a minute. But lots of stuff has happened. I was not able to do much for about 2 months, and then I had the wedding. I am married now, yes, yay! And I will post a video about that too. But I just wanted to give you a quick update of why I didn't put videos up and what happened and what me and my fiance, or now husband, had to go through. So on the 2nd of February, we had a funeral because my husband's grandpa passed away, and we went to the funeral in the morning. After that, I wanted to go to school, and he dropped me off at the subway station. I heard the subway come in, and I hate being late, and I knew if I miss that train, I'm gonna miss the connection, and therefore I will be late for school. And I didn't want to be late, so I started running down the stairs, and I kind of like twisted my ankle and fell down the stairs. Like, it was just all slow motion, and I was just thinking, oh gosh, I don't want to fall down head first. So I just kind of like tilted myself back, and I was wearing a backpack which was really heavy, so it kind of like pulled me down to the ground or on the stairs, and I was like just going like bumping down some stairs and just kind of laying on the stairs there, and then immediately I was in so much pain and so much shock that I actually started crying. And there were two people behind me. It was a couple, a girl and guy, and they run towards me and helped me immediately, and they were like, are you okay, is everything fine? And it was just like, I don't know, my foot really hurts, it really hurts, can you help me? And then the guy took off my shoe, and he was like looking at it. It was like, oh, it's kind of swollen, it's kind of bruised. I was like, is it? And I was scared because I didn't want to have a torn ligament, because I had that before in that same foot. And I was just like, if it tear anything now, right before the wedding, I cannot work. I cannot go on heels during my wedding, and I was just like so scared for to tear anything. So it's like, is it like big and like looks like a blue egg or something? And he's like, I don't know, can you look? And I looked down, and it's like just a little bit bruised and a little bit swollen, but not as bad. So I knew it was not a torn ligament. I was really happy about that in that second. I was like, okay, nothing torn, it just hurts, you're fine. It's gonna be late now anyways, it doesn't matter. And then he's like, okay, let us put you on a step, because you're kind of still laying here. We want you to sit down so you don't slide down any farther. So the girl and the guy picked me up and put me on that step, and I sit down. In that second I noticed, dang, my bottom hurts so bad, what is this? And then I remembered that I was falling down on my bottom, and that was really painful. In that second I knew, okay, today I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna go straight to the emergency room. We, at that second, they were like, do you want us to call the ambulance or something? And I was just like, no, I'm fine, I'm gonna call my fiance. He just dropped me off. He's just like 2 minutes away. So I called him. I was like, Marco, you need to turn around right now. I fell and I'm really hurt. We need to go to the emergency room. And he was really scared at that second. He's like, oh my gosh, what happened? I was like, I just fell, just please turn around. We need to go. So he turned, like literally like 2 minutes later, he arrived, and he ran down the stairs and was like, what's wrong? What happened? And the guy explained to him that he saw that I just kind of fell down the stairs, and I explained that I twisted my ankle and fell. And yeah, so the guy and Marco kind of helped me come up, because I couldn't stand on my left foot because I twisted that ankle, but I also couldn't stand on my right foot because my bottom was hurting so bad on my right side, like my right butt cheek was hurting so bad. And I was like, sorry guys, I just can't walk. And they're like, okay, don't walk at all, we will lift you up and bring you to the car. And so they lifted me up the stairs, and then outside of the subway station, and they were like, can you sit down here? I was like, actually no, it's really painful. And they're like, okay, then just kind of like half lay down right here. It was like this, it was kind of not really a chair, but like something that was a little bit higher so I could like lay on it outside. And then Marco just got the car in front of the subway station, and then they both lifted me more or less, into the car. And again, I couldn't sit down. I was just kind of like pushing myself up, and I was like, oh, this hurts so bad. You need to be really quick and really careful because this hurts so much. He was driving me to the emergency room. We arrived there, and again, I couldn't get out of the car by myself. And he just kind of struggled getting me out of the car, and because now he was by himself. And a police guy, he was really tall, he was like 6 foot something, was like, girl, let me help you. So he kind of like asked me to put my arm around his neck, and then he just lifted me up and like carried me into the emergency room because I couldn't walk, and put me down on one of those beds. And then Marco went up and signed me in and explained what happened, and then they just walked up to me, like drove me into the emergency room, and we were like, okay, here's some painkillers for now. And it took me 4 hours in the emergency room in the hospital. They basically just took an x-ray of my foot, and I was like, oh, there's no torn ligament. I was like, yeah, thank you, I'm doing physical therapy school, I knew that. I was like, yeah, but my bottom hurts so much. Can't you look what happened there? I was like, oh, it's just gonna be bruised, you know, nothing big. It's gonna hurt for a while, but that's fine. I was like, well, but it hurts really, really bad. Like when they took my x-ray for the foot, I had to lay down on that, you know, metal surface. And at that second, I wasn't crying anymore. But then when I had to get up and lay down on there, so painful immediately. I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, gosh, really, my bottom hurts so bad, people. Something is wrong. They didn't listen to me at all. I waited another like 2 hours, and then they were like, so here's your letter, you can go home now, but you need to go to a doctor tomorrow, and so that you get a like prescription that you cannot work for the next 2 weeks, and yeah, good luck, feel better soon. I was like, well, how am I supposed to walk? My ankle's twisted, you just put a band-aid around it and some cream or lotion or whatever, and I cannot stand on my right foot, so how am I supposed to walk out of this here? And then they were like, oh, so do you need like crutches or something? And I was like, yeah, please. So they gave me those, and I kind of like got out of the emergency room somehow. And then my mom picked me up because Marco had to jump in and babysit for me because, sorry, camera just died. So yeah, I couldn't go out of the hospital, but then my mom picked me up, and I was able to kind of walk. She drove me home. Again, I couldn't sit down, it was hurting so bad, and then she helped me into the apartment and laid me down, and she was like, do you need anything right now? I was like, no, I'm just gonna go to the doctor tomorrow, and it's fine, I can't move, it's okay, thank you so much. So the next day I went to that health center to get that prescription that I needed for school and work. And yeah, again, they were asking me what happened and stuff like that, and I explained it to them, and they were looking at the letter that I got from the hospital, and they were like, okay, so did they, you want to do an ultrasound again just to make sure nothing is turned on your ligaments and everything's fine? I was like, alright, but please don't get shocked or anything. And then he's like looking at me like, why? And then I kind of like dove on that like bank that I was supposed to sit on, because like I cannot sit. And he was like, what are you doing? It's like, I cannot lay down, I cannot sit, I can't do anything, it hurts so much. And he's like, what hurts so much? I was like, my butt hurts. And he's like, well, why does your butt hurt? Like, because I fell on my butt. And they were like, okay, so did they take an x-ray of your like tailbone or anything? And I was like, no, they didn't. They're like, what, they didn't? I was like, yeah. And then they asked me, okay, so are you pregnant or anything? And I'm like, no, they took a pregnancy yesterday for the other x-ray, so no, I'm not pregnant. And they're like, okay, then we would like to take an x-ray of that one too. I was like, yeah, sure, please do, because I don't know what's wrong and it's so painful. So they did the x-ray, and I had a broken tailbone. So I was like, oh, finally I know what's going on. And he was like, well, you cannot go to work for another month or more. I need you to come back every week so we can check in and see how it's going, how you're doing. And I need to take you off work for a whole month. And I was like, a month? I'm like not allowed to take off that much. And he's like, don't worry about it, you will be fine. And but we need to make sure and see how it goes from there. I was kind of shocked. Then I was like, okay, well, can't change it now. I was like, okay, let's do this. And then she actually gave me a tape on, sorry, now my card was full. Anyways, to relax my muscles, and then I went back home. I was actually like taking strong painkillers at that point. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lay on my back, couldn't lay on my side. Even laying on my tummy, it was kind of hurting, but it was okay. That's the only position I was able to sleep in. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. Marco always needed to help me to get up out of my bed, get me down on the toilet, pick me up from the toilet, and put me back into bed because I couldn't do it. He needed to actually carry me to get out of bed or sit down on the toilet or whatever. So that was for the first 2 weeks. I couldn't do anything. I was like, I'm sorry, but you need to do like everything, laundry, the whole house, cleaning, everything, because I couldn't do it. So that was awful. I slept most of the time, and then I noticed that I didn't take the painkillers really well because they were really strong, and I usually don't take painkillers. So my kidneys started to hurt so bad, and a little TMI, but my urine turned orange, and I was like, okay, I cannot take those painkillers anymore. So I just kept didn't take them anymore, because like, okay, the pain in my kidneys is stronger than my tailbone pain. So I stopped taking the painkillers, and I was just kind of dealing with it. After 3 weeks, it started to be better. I was able to like lay on the side. I was able to sit down with my little donut that I got, and it was okay. I could walk. My angle was better. It was still hurting, but it was better. And it started all to come together. And after 4 weeks, I was allowed to go back to school, but not work in the hospital yet. So I went back to school. Lots of pain in the first week because I had to sit down so much, and I was not used to that. And then of course my my body was just not, since I've been sleeping for almost 2 weeks straight, I was just kind of like feeling dizzy, and I got sick to my tummy, and it was just like all really bad. But I got better every week, and then after 6 weeks I was able to go back to the hospital, work full-time, go babysitting again. I had lots of help from my sister and my fiance at that time for my babysitting job and everything, so that was amazing. I'm so thankful for that. And yeah, it was just all in all really stressful, because it was 2 months before the wedding, and I was so scared that I was not able to walk on my heels, because my dress, everything fit with my heels and everything, and I couldn't change it up just like 2 months before. It was just too crazy, and I was so scared that everything was not going to work out, but it did. And we had a fun wedding. I will post a video of that too. I was able to sit without my donut. I actually didn't feel my tailbone that day at all. Now I'm kind of feeling it. I kind of still need to sit on that donut in like the car. I cannot drive in the car without it. And when I sit down on like a couch or something that is really soft, and I just like squeeze my bottom in it, that's kind of uncomfortable still. But I can walk, I can do sports now, I can lay down on my back. It's not comfortable, but it's okay. Yeah, what else? I can, of course, get out of bed now. I can go to the bathroom by myself. Everything's fine now. The first month was kind of difficult, but after that, it got better and better and better. And yeah, so another thing that helped a lot right before the wedding was that my American friend, best friend, came to visit me. And her sister were here staying in my apartment and just hang out and stuff. And for that week was the first week where I didn't feel it at all, because I was so distracted. I didn't feel the pain at all, so that was really amazing. And now it kind of is back, but it's just when I like really sit on it or like push on it or someone kicks me in it accidentally. But it's much better now. So that was a quick update. Sorry for so much talking, but that was my update of why I have not been making any videos or uploading anything, because I just couldn't sit down and edit anything, and I just couldn't talk or anything. I was just really out of it. So that was my little update. There will be another video coming soon about my wedding and some other stuff that I just kind of recorded but never put up. So be waiting and excited for that, and then I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye.